yogi can touch the moon with his finger. Though the modern astronauts go to the moon with the help of spaceship, they undergo many difficulties, whereas a person with mystic perfection can extend his hand and touch the moon with his finger. The siddhi is called prapti or acquisition. With this Prapti Siddhi, not only can the perfect mystic yogi touch the moon planet, but he can extend his hand anywhere and take whatever he likes. He may be sitting thousands of miles away from a certain place, and if he likes, he can take fruit from a garden there. This is Prapti Siddhi. The modern scientists have manufactured nuclear weapons with which they can destroy an part of his insignificant part of this planet. But by the Yoga Siddhi known as Ishita, one can create and destroy an entire planet simply at will. Another perfection is called Vashita, and by this perfection, one can bring anyone under his control. This is a kind of hypnotism that is almost irresistible. Sometimes it is found that a yogi who may have attained a little perfection in this Vishita mystic mystic power comes out among the people and speaks all sorts of nonsense, controls their mind, exploits them, takes their money, and then goes away.
There is another mystic perfection which is known as prakamya, magic. By this prakamya power, one can achieve anything he likes. For example, one can make water enter into his eye and then again come out from within the eye. Simply by his will, he can perform such wonderful activities. The highest perfection of mystic power is called Kamavashayita. This is also magic, but whereas the Prakamya power acts to create wonderful effects within the scope of nature, Kamavashayita permits one to contradict nature. In other words, to do the impossible. Of course, one can derive great amounts of temporary happiness by achieving such yogic materialistic perfections.
Foolishly, people who are enamored. Prabhu, you can continue.
Yes.
Foolishly, people who are enamored of the glimmer of modern materialistic advancement are thinking that the Krishna consciousness movement is for less intelligent men. I am better off being busy with my material comforts, maintaining a nice apartment, family, and sex life. These people do not know that at any moment they can be kicked out of their material situation. Due to ignorance, they do not know that real life is eternal. The temporary comforts of the body are not the goal of the life, and it's due only to darkest ignorance that people become enamored of the limiting advancement of material comfort. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore said that the advancement of material knowledge renders a person more foolish because it causes one to forget his real identity with by its glimmer. This is doom for him because this human form of life is meant for getting out of material contamination. By the advancement of material knowledge, people are becoming more and more entangled in material existence. They have no hope of being liberated from this catastrophe.
In the Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya, it is stated that Prahlad Maharaj, a great devotee of Lord, prayed to Narsimha Dev, the half lion, half man incarnation, as follows: My dear Lord, I repeatedly pray onto your lotus feet that I am simply be stronger in devotional service. I simply pray that my Krishna conscious may be more stronger and steady because happiness derived out of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is so powerful that with it one can have all the other perfections of religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and even the attainment of liberation from material existence. Actually, a pure devotee does not aspire after any of these perfections because the Happiness derived from devotional service in Krishna consciousness is so transcendental and so unlimited that no other happiness can compare to it. It is said that even one drop of happiness in Krishna consciousness stands beyond comparison with an ocean of happiness derived from any other activities. Thus, any person who has developed even a little quantity of pure devotional service can very easily kick out all the other kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, and sense gratification and liberation. Very good.
Okay, Prabhu. Just we'll take a quick break. Okay. See this one. Before we take a quick break, I will just see what is that we have seen today in this. This section is all about what is which is the second one. First is Kleshagni. Second one is what is it?
All auspiciousness.
What is
Auspicious.
Auspiciousness.
auspicious? What is this in Hindi? Yes, Sanskrit.
Shubhada, right?
Shubhada. Okay. So Shubhada. What is Shubhada is what we have seen. Okay. So first is Kleshagni, and Kleshagni is again divided into three. Okay. Wrong acts, wrong desires, wrong understanding. And then Shubhada. Shubhada is again identified in three main characteristics. First characteristics is identified as universally enduring and beneficial. So that is where Prabhupada is mentioning about this United Nations and then bringing about universal one. So when Uttama Bhakti is there, it is spread across everybody and everybody are benefit. Okay, so this sloka is from Padma Puran. Okay, so Rupa Goswami is quoting this Padma Puran slogan, Prinandi Divya Pratyam Yate Padma Yachinchita, which means one who worships Hari satisfies the entire universe. Thus, everyone, even the immobile entities, hold dear. So whatever, even small living entities, even trees, whatever be it, are all getting benefited when somebody is worshipping Hari. Okay, so that is what is Tatra Agnat Prinandi. Okay, that is what the first one. Second one is Prabhupada is Rupa Goswami is bringing out something called as the saintly guna. Okay, Sadguna Anadi Pravartam Yata Panchem Trishyati Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Sarver Guna. So in fifth canto, this sloka is what is being quoted by Rupa Goswami. Okay, Harau Abhaktasya Kuto Mahat Gunan. Okay, Harau Abhaktasya Kuto Mahat Gunan, which means what else somebody will get if somebody is able to follow Krishna, follow this saintly characters. So when somebody is performing Uttama Bhakti, all the great saintly qualities will automatically come to them. Okay, so their mind will never get into anything else, and they will have a pure consciousness. All the wonderful qualities, even their face, even their way of speaking, even their action, even their thinking, everything will be so godly, so divine, so quality. Okay, so that is the another advantage. So under auspicious, under Shubhada, this second B category is saintly character. So Prabhupada is also giving a detailed understanding about how it is meant by the saintly characters. Okay, Bhaktir Bhavati Akinchana Sarver Gunais. Okay, so that is the portion. And third portion is what we have just seen now, the entire details about bestowing happiness. So in bestowing happiness, again, it is divided into three categories. So first is called the Vaisheka Sukha. Vaisheka Sukha. See, this is again the sloka that is being referred as Sukam Vaishekam Brahmam, Shukam Vaishekam. One, Brahmam Aishwaryam Cherasat Tatrida means three types of happiness. What are the three types of happiness? Vaisheka. Vaisheka means Vishaya or material. Okay, whatever happiness that is derived from objects is the first one. Okay, so in that sensory pleasure, whatever happiness that you want to think about it, you will definitely get it. Okay, that is first one. Second one is Brahmana Sukha or Brahmana Sukha, which means all this the Prabhupada is giving so nice detailed about the different siddhis, right? Anima Siddhi, Lagima Siddhi, this Siddhi, walking in water, flying, all kind of siddhis. These are all in one way. When you start performing certain activities in Uttama Bhakti, these things will automatically come. So you don't have to perform any kind of Ashtanga Yoga, this yoga, that yoga and all kind of happiness will automatically, Brahmana Sukha. Okay, so that portion will, it is like for the so-called yogis or the Ashtanga yogis, their goal is moksha or liberation, right? That happiness, you will get it automatically when you perform Uttama Bhakti. Clear? So that is what in the entire section about different yogis, Prabhupada is giving very detailed commentary about so many Correct? So all those things will automatically come when somebody is performing Uttama Bhakti. Okay. Okay. Liberation Mukti is in the category happiness from the Brahmanas. Third one is all the last one that we are supposed to see is Aishwarya Sukha. Aishwarya Sukha is the Paramananda, or the happiness that is directly obtained from the Supreme Lord. Okay, so this portion is what we are going to see now, and after that we still have 4 more points to cover. Okay, what are the other 4 points? One is Klesha Agni, Sudurlabha. The third one is Sudurlabha. What is the Sudurlabha?
Very, very rare.
So devotional service itself is very rare. Okay, so that is what we are going to see now. Then Akarshini. Akarshini is attracting Krishna. Okay, so let us continue. You are with me? I mean, I don't know whether you are able to get this. So this chapter is divided into 6 main divisions of pure devotion service. Okay. So that's why this portion about Kolavecha Sridhar. Okay, we all know. Okay, I already shared this, right? Okay, I will share here. So we all know this wonderful pastime about Kolavecha Sridhar. Kolavecha Sridhar was so happy when he was trying to bargain with Supreme Lord. So he will when the Lord Mahaprabhu, when he did this the Prakasha Leela, when we had the super duper Prakash Leela, everybody are asking so many things. So they called, then Mahaprabhu calls Kolavecha Sridhar. Kolavecha Sridhar, I know you have been with me this, and you have the highest treasure, you have the best treasure, that is Krishna Prema, Krishna Bhakti. So what do you want? So what Kolavecha says, I don't want anything. I want the same small Nimai who will come and bargain with me. Okay, so that is kind of a wonderful pastime in which we can see how much relishment or how much happiness he derives with Krishna, with Nimai. Okay, so that is what Prabhupada is bringing this portion. So this portion we can skip. Okay, we all know this portion. So this is called as Atma, or the eternal bliss that is directly with relationship with Krishna. So what are the 3 type of happiness? One from material objects, second from Siddhi, or from various Siddhas, various kind of actions that you get. Third one is the happiness that you directly get the reciprocation from the Supreme Lord. Okay. Okay, we can read through this para and then get to the next section, rareness of pure devotion. So
In the Narad Pancharatra, it is also said that any person who has developed even a small amount of devotional service doesn't care a fig for any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, or 5 kinds of liberation. Any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, liberation, or sense gratification cannot even dare to enter into the heart of a pure devotee. It is stated that as the personal attendants and maid servants of a queen follow the queen with all respects and obeisances, similarly, the joys of religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation follow the devotional service of the Lord. In other words, a pure devotee does not lack any kind of happiness derived from any source. He does not want anything but service to Krishna. But even if he should have another desire, the Lord fulfills this without the devotees asking for it. Hari Bol.
He gives all kinds of happiness, whether through the Siddhi or through the material objects, whatever be it, he will definitely give. Okay.
We read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead.
The rareness of pure devotional service. In the preliminary phase of spiritual life, there are different kinds of austerities, penances, and similar processes for attaining self-realization. However, even if an executor of these processes is without any material desire, he still cannot achieve devotional service. And aspiring by oneself alone to achieve devotional service is also not very hopeful, because Krishna does not agree to award devotional service to merely anyone. Krishna can easily offer a person material happiness or even liberation, but he does not agree very easily to award a person engagement in his devotional service. Devotional service can in fact be attained only through the mercy of a pure devotee. In Chaitanya Charanamrita Madhya Leela, Madhya 19.151, it is said
By the mercy of the spiritual master, who is a pure devotee, and by the mercy of Krishna, one can achieve the platform of devotional service. There is no other way. The rarity of devotional service is also confirmed in the Tantra Shastra, where Lord Shiva says to Sati, "My dear Sati, if one is very fine philosopher, analyzing the different processes of knowledge, he can achieve liberation from the material entanglement. By performance of the ritualistic sacrifices recommended in the Vedas, one can be elevated to the platform of pious activities and thereby enjoy the material comforts of life to the fullest extent. But all such endeavors can hardly offer any one devotional service to the Lord, not even if one tries for it by such processes for many, many thousands of births. Hare Krishna.
In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj that merely by personal efforts or by the instructions of higher authorities, one cannot attain to the stage of devotional service. One must become blessed by the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotee, who is completely freed from the contamination of material desires. If the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, sixth chapter, verse 18, Narada also says to Yudhishthira, "My dear king, it is Lord Krishna, known as Mukunda, who is the eternal protector of the Pandavas and the Yadus. He is also your spiritual master and instructor in every respect. He is the only worshipable God for you. He is very dear and affectionate, and he is the director of all your activities, both individual and familial. And what's more, he sometimes carries out your orders as if he wears your messages. My dear king, how very fortunate you are, because for others all these favors given to you by the Supreme Lord would not even be dreamed of. The purport of this verse is that the Lord easily offers liberation, but he rarely agrees to offer a soul devotional service, because by devotional service, the Lord himself becomes purchased by the devotees. Hare.
The happiness of becoming one with the Supreme.
Srila Rupa Goswami says that if Brahmananda or the happiness of becoming one with the Supreme is multiplied 1 trillion fold, it still cannot compare to an atomic fraction of the happiness derived from the ocean of devotional service. The Hari Bhakti Bodhya Prahlad Maharaj, well satisfied, Narasimha says, oh, by his prayers, says, "My dear Lord of the universe, I am feeling transcendental pleasure in your presence and have become merged in the ocean of happiness. I now consider the happiness of Brahmananda to be no more than the water and the impression left by a cow's hoof in the earth. Compared to this ocean of bliss, similarly, it is confirmed in the Bhagavad Deepika, Sridhara Swami's commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam. My dear Lord, some of the fortunate persons who are swimming in the ocean of your nectar of devotion and who are relishing the nectar of the narration of your pastimes certainly know ecstasies that immediately minimize the value of the happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Such a transcendental devotee regards any kind of happiness other than the devotional service as no better than a straw.
Attracting Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami has stated that devotional service attracts even Krishna. Krishna attracts everyone. So, can you please scroll up? But devotional service attracts Krishna. The symbol of devotional service in the highest degree is Radharani. Krishna is called Madana Mohana. which means that he is so attractive that he can defeat the attraction of thousands of cupids. But Radharani is still more attractive, for she can even attract Krishna. Therefore, devotees call her Madana Mohana Mohini, the attractor of the attractor of Cupid. To perform devotional service means to follow in the footsteps of Radharani. And devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under the care of Radharani in order to achieve perfection in their devotional service. In other words, devotional service is not an activity of the material world. It is directly under the control of Radharani. In Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that the Mahatmas or great souls are under the protection of Daivi Prakriti, the internal energy, Radharani. So, being directly under the control of the internal potency of Krishna, devotional service attracts even Krishna himself.
This fact is corroborated by Krishna in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th chapter, first verse, where he says, "My dear Uddhava, you may know it from me that the attraction I feel for the devotional service rendered by my devotees is not to be attained even by the performance of mystic yoga, philosophical speculation, ritualistic sacrifices, the study of Vedanta, the practice of service or severe austerities, or the giving of everything in charity. These are, of course, very nice activities, but they are not as attractive to me as the transcendental loving service rendered by my devotees. How how Krishna becomes attracted by devotional service of his devotees is described by Narada in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 10th chapter, 37th verses. There, Narada addresses King Yudhishthira while the king is appreciating the glories of the character of Prahlad Maharaj. A devotee always appreciates the activities of other devotees. Yudhishthira Maharaj was appreciating the qualities of Prahlad, and that is one symptom of a pure devotee. A pure devotee never thinks himself as great. He always thinks that other devotees are greater than himself. The king was thinking, Prahlad Maharaj is actually a devotee of the Lord, while I am nothing. And while thinking this, he was addressed by Narada as follows: Mighty King Yudhishthira, in this world, you, the Pandava brothers, are the only fortunate people. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared on this planet and is presenting himself to you as an ordinary human being. He is always with you in all circumstances. He is living with you and covering himself from the eyes of others. Others cannot understand that he is the Supreme Lord, but he is still living with you as your cousin, as your friend, and even as your messenger. Therefore, you must know that nobody in this world is more fortunate than you. Hare Krishna.
In Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna appeared in his universal form, Arjuna prayed, "My dear Krishna, I thought of you as my cousin brother, and so I have shown disrespect to you in so many ways, calling you Krishna or friend. But you are so great that I could not understand." So that was the position of Pandavas. Although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the greatest among all greats, he remained with those royal brothers, being attracted by their devotion, by their friendship, and by their love. That is the proof of how great this process of devotional service is. It can attract even the Supreme Personality of Godhead. God is great, but devotional service is greater than God because it attracts him. People who are not in devotional service can never understand what great value there is in rendering service to the Lord. Hare Krishna.
A very nice last punch dialogue is, God is great, but devotion service is greater than God. Okay, so Krishna Akarshini. So that is the word Rupa Goswami uses. So pure devotion service is like cow's footprint. Like, a cow's footprint is like a baby cow or a calf is very small, and that footprint is very small. So what kind of material pleasure, whatever be the liberation, happiness arrived out of liberation, everything is just only small portion of the entire benefit, or the benefit that I get, or the happiness that I derive from devotion service. Okay, so it is like devotion service is like a ocean, happiness derived out of devotion service is like ocean, and happiness derived out of this siddhis, this liberation, this material is all what is only calf's footprint. It is nothing, just very small. Okay. Okay, we'll quickly go back to the summary and we will see about this. The second one is auspicious, in which we saw the happiness portion, and then the third one is making liberation very light, very light, right? Okay, so that is where moksha lagu tat manage bhapanid. So hridaye bhagavat rata, which means when affection for Lord is taken, awakens in our heart, whatever the four goals, what are the four? Usually dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Okay, so generally from our Vedas, all the four types of goals, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, in whatever way you want to get. So all are nothing but what? It is just nothing. It is trivial. It is nothing but nothing but like a straw. Okay. So Prabhupada is also mentioning about how Rupa Goswami is referring to the Narada Pancharatra. So in Narada Pancharatra, what is the sloka? Yata Shri Narada Pancharatra Tehi Bhakti me Devya Sarva Mukti Siddhi hai. So Hari Bhakti is the supreme goddess and goodness. Sorry. Okay. And all other accomplishments, including liberation, perfection, pleasures, are all what are they? They are nothing but maids. So Prabhupada also will say the liberation mukti will come in, stand in front of the door and knock our door, right? Please come, but we will never, the pure devotees will never be getting attracted. Similarly, all those liberation, perfection, all nothing but handmaids, so attending her attentively. Okay? So this moksha or this thing, it becomes very, very light. This is the third one. Okay? The last one we said is durlabha. Okay, Sudhurlabha, Durlabha. Okay. Durlabha means very difficult. Sudhurlabha means very difficult. Adhurlabha means easy. Okay. Where this word where we have seen generally? Durlabha, Adhurlabha.
One place is Durlabha Manava.
Durlabha Mahanava. Okay. Correct. Another thing is Brahma Samhita. Okay. Where does in Brahma Samhita it comes? Durlabha Atma Bhakta. Okay. So in our Brahma Samhita also it is getting quoted. But what is quoted by Rupa Goswami is this specifically from this fifth canto. Okay. Fifth canto, it is all about talking about how he can grant liberation, but he cannot grant bhakti. Okay, so we all know this story, right? So one person will go and ask, everybody will go and ask Krishna, I want this, I want that, I want that. So everybody, what they will do, Krishna will start giving everybody. So one person will come and ask what? He will ask bhakti, right? So when the moment he asks bhakti, Krishna will make him stand and say, you wait. Then he will start giving everything to everybody. Then Narada will become very curious. Why are you making that person alone stand there? No, he is asking bhakti, which is very, very rare, which is very difficult for me to give. So all others, everything can be granted by Krishna, but the love and affection for the bhakti portion is very, very difficult for Krishna himself to give. Okay, so that is what is important, and it is very rare. Okay, so very, very rare to get this portion. And then the last one is the bliss portion that we have seen. Okay. What is the bliss portion? Again, we mentioned like the calf's hoof's footprint. Okay, so Rupa Goswami is mentioning about this sloka, Hari Bhakti Sudhaya. Hari Bhakti Sudhaya is also kind of very nice book. Throughout Nectar of Devotion, it is used by Rupa Goswami to bring certain things. So Rupa Goswami will use slokas from Bhagavatam, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, from Hari Bhakti Sudhoya, all these books, so that to bring in that collection of this entire science of devotion service. Okay. So those who enjoy hearing about the pastimes, about the wonderful pastimes of Krishna, truly consider the four goals of life to be straw. So our four goals of life is nothing but just like that straw. Okay. This is the word. This is the Sanskrit word is used. Sukani goshadhayante brahmani api jagat guru. Okay. Api jagat guru. It is like together. So Sukani goshayadhyante brahmani api jagat guru, which means even happiness derived out of self-realization, happiness derived out of so many whatever be it, it is nothing but a falsehood. Krishna Akarchini, Rupa Goswami is quoting mainly in three things. One is Bhagavatam 11th canto and Bhagavatam 7th canto. Okay, so Nasadyanti Mam Yogo no Sankyam Dharma Uddavaha. So in talking about when he's talking about 11th canto, Uddhava Gita, when Krishna is talking about the devotional service, characteristics of devotional service, Krishna himself declares this. Okay, when he is giving all the instructions, the final instructions in 11th canto, Krishna is giving if any I cannot be obtained. So even in Bhagavad Gita also, the main question is what? Yoginam api sarvesham. He says I am the best of yogi, everything. But finally, what he's saying, only through bhakti I can be bhaktir mama arjita. Arjita. Okay, mama arjita. Arjita means getting defeated or getting conquered. So yata bhaktir mama arjita, which means only through bhakti I can be conquered. Nothing, not by any other thing. And the 7th canto is about Prahlad Maharaj talking about Esham Grignashvanti Sakshat Gudam Paramam Brahma Manushya Lingam. Okay, which means even the saints who purify the worldly desire to live in their home, for there the Supreme directly manifests in the most secret form. Okay, so when Narada is telling to the Pandavas, you are so fortunate that you don't realize who is with you, right? Because throughout Mahabharata, who was protecting the Pandavas? It is Krishna. But only after a very long time they realized that the Supreme, the greatest of the greatest, the supremost person is with them, just like an ordinary person, eating with them, sleeping, going, playing, everything he was doing just like that. Right? So that is what Narada is telling to when Yudhishthira refers. This is the scenario where what happens. You remember, this is the scenario where the Ashwamedha yoga is completed. All the yajna is completed, and then Shishupal is throwing blaspheming Krishna. Krishna is getting glorified. Krishna is placed as the chief guest. If you read through the 7th canto, the first few chapters talks about where Yudhishthira is performing the Ashwamedha yajna, and then who is the most qualified to give the first respect is Krishna. So they keep Krishna, and everybody starts glorifying Krishna. At that point of time, you all know Mahabharata, right? At that point of time, Shishupal comes and then blasphemes Krishna, and then after the 100th blaspheming, 100th sin, Krishna chops off his head. So the moment Krishna chops off his head, Yudhishthira was bewildered to see what Shishupal's Atma getting Sayujya Mukti, getting into the Krishna's body. So he sees that effulgence or the light going into Krishna. That point of time, Yudhishthira is completely bewildered. What is this? How is this possible? He is blaspheming Krishna, but Krishna is so benevolently taking this person. So at that point of time, Yudhishthira asked this question. So how does the entire Narsimha chapter or the entire pastime comes out is when Narada talks with Yudhishthira, and then that comes out, right? So in that particular place, Narada is glorifying Krishna and telling about glorifying Panchapandavas also. This is the main sloka. Okay, I'm just giving you that reference. So you don't really understand with whom you are interacting. He is the Supreme Parama Purusha, Param Brahma, Param. So he is everything. Okay, you are the most important person, and the Supreme directly manifests in your home. Okay, so that is what this sloka now Rupa Goswami is quoting here. So Krishna is attracted by your devotional service. Okay, I think we will stop here. So tomorrow, next class, we will get into the stages of Bhakti, Anukramat. Okay, Anukramat is the sadhana Bhakti to Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. So what did we see? We see only one chapter we saw. In that one chapter, what is the main thing that we saw is, the first thing that we saw is this 5 types of Mukti, which is kind of not attracted towards Uttama Bhakti. Salokya Sarashti Samvidya Sarupya Ekat. Okay, so this is not attracted, is not at all this one. So that is the first fundamental thing. Even before getting into any other aspect of Bhakti, first thing is don't talk about liberation. Okay, then get into pure devotion service. Primary thing. So under pure devotion service, what are the 6 different characteristics? Kleshagni, Shubhada, Moksha Lagu, Sudurlabha, Sadharananda, so eternal bliss or condensed bliss. Then Sri Krishna Akarshan. Sri Krishna Akarshan is the attraction. So within Klesha Agni is the first thing that we saw. Klesha Agni is nothing but removing the suffering. So what kind of sufferings? Sufferings due to wrong acts, wrong desires, and wrong understanding. And sufferings are at the 4 levels. Okay, what are the four levels? Aprabdha phalam. Aprabdha phalam means which is not yet manifested; it is still inside. And then kutam. Kutam means kutam or seed level. It just come out. And then vijam, which is fully grown. And then phalan mukam, fully matured. Oh, whatever be the suffering, everything will be taken care when you do pure devotion service. Okay. And it also removes desires. So whatever desire that you want to desire that is leading towards him, so that desire also is taking, and he is also removing the understanding, wrong understanding. So Rupa Goswami is quoting from 6th canto, 4th canto slokas to substantiate this point. So he's taking slokas from Padma Puran, he's taking slokas from Harisudhoya, then Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, whatever be it, and then try to bring this. The second is bestowing happiness. So happiness again is in the 3 categories. One is universal, which will be which can be applied for everybody and anybody. Second one is so the happiness, auspiciousness in terms of having the divine qualities. And then finally, third one is the happiness portion. Okay. He is also making mukti nothing. So liberation is not even spoken about. Okay, so it becomes lagu, moksha lagu krit. Okay, moksha lagu krit. Lagu means what? Very lightweight, nothing, just like that. And moksha will stand in the doorstep. That is portion. And durlabha. Okay, so this is the sudurlabha portion we have seen. And then Krishna Akarsha. Okay. So my suggestion is, as a homework, just go back and read through this chapter again. Otherwise, you will never get into the understanding, because this is all the commentary portion of the entire chapter. Okay. So if you read through the actual Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, you will just talk about only the sloka portion only. But our acharyas have given a lot of commentary on that particular each and every compilation. Okay. So Prabhupada's commentary is just one chapter has got so much of detail. So we saw this, what? Pure devotion brings all kinds of relief from all kind of material distress, bringing happiness and auspiciousness, transcendental pleasure, sudurlabha, very rarely achieved, liberation is nothing, and then finally, Krishna Akarsha. Rupa Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. So next class we'll get into the first stage of devotions. We have not even gone into stage of devotion. Okay, it is just giving advantages or the glimpse of what is the characteristics of devotion. That is what we have seen today. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Dandavad
Prabhu.
pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.